throw off a lot of heat. Sometimes on a really cold winter day, we'll leave them uncovered so we get some extra heat in here.
I bet. Yeah, it could be the molten iron right next to us that's doing that. What temperature did you say this is at?
When it comes out of the cupola, it can be anywhere up to 3,000. So this is probably still about 1,000 degrees or so.
Oh my gosh! And what's Ken covering it in now?
He's just putting sand on top of it to keep the heat down.
Okay. Okay. And what are the different things that you're making here?
These are all sewer covers here.
Yeah.
These are arms for Toronto Hydro on our left.
Okay.
On the right here are the rack molds that they were working on when they were grinding earlier.
Right.
Making some more of those today. And yeah, everything else is just sewer covers.
And do you make anything else here at the factory besides the sewer covers and the pieces for Toronto Hydro?
Yeah, so we make some stuff for different pieces for Haley Industries, USS Manufacturing here in town.
Yeah.
New Tech and Arm Priory, we make some stuff for them. A lot of local companies.
And where are those people going to be getting the products from?
Some of them are still uncertain.
Really?
Yeah, some are still looking for someone to supply them, so it's interesting.
So they must have been begging you to stay open.
For a while, yeah. Even Haley Industries at one point was looking at doing it themselves, but it didn't work out for them.
Yeah. And why did you, I know we discussed it briefly earlier in the show, but why did you decide to close the factory?
Just multiple things. Everything came together and it was a decision that needed to be made.
Yeah.
It's either now or...
Yeah. And like, well, so is ordering the product that you're making from overseas an option, or?
Some no, we wouldn't want to do that because that's part of our demise and stuff that was brought over from overseas. So
Right.
that would be I don't know, faux pas for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so your great-great-grandfather opened up the factory 148 years ago. So at that point, why did he feel the need to create Imbleau Sons?
There was definitely demand in the area at that time with all the farmers and the, say it was a lumber industry here in town, so they made axe stuff, they made clod hoppers for the farmers' fields. So at that time, there was just more demand for the product and different uses of it than there are today.
Yeah. Okay, so how long will you guys be pouring for? I'm starting to notice that things are slowing down. There's not as many buckets being filled.
Yeah, so everybody just kind of going their own separate ways now. There's littler items being poured, so everyone doesn't have to do it as a group.
Okay.
So everyone's just kind of breaking off and pouring what needs to be done.
Now, the bucket that we just saw filled, and he's scurrying away with what kind of bucket is it?
It's called a ladle.
A ladle. Okay. And what material is it made of?
It's steel, but it's lined with the refractory cement so that the iron won't melt through it.
Really?
Yep.
And then how did you figure out that that's what you need to use?
That's always what's been used.
Yeah.
Back in the day, so that's what they use was ladles.
Right. And I mean, we see the sparks going all over the place, so how do you guys keep from being ignited?
Yeah, it's really not that bad. Once it hits you, it'll usually just bounce off if you're sweaty enough, but if it gets caught in your clothes, it'll stick to you. But most of the time, it just bounces off.
Okay, and I saw a bit of the molten iron spilling off the sides. Will it burn through your shoes?
Yes, it has. I have a scar on my foot from it. It burned right through my boot.
If you move fast enough?
Exactly. I kicked my boot off, but it's still, you can still see the hole in the side of my boot, and it melted right through.
You're kidding. So that's tricky work, working with a material like this.
It is, yeah. It's not the safest work, that's for sure.
Does your mom give you danger pay?
No, unfortunately not.
We're going to have to talk to Lucy about that. I really appreciate you letting me in today.
Thanks
It's
for
awesome.
Sarah.
Like I said, I've known Josh and his family. What has it been? Maybe 15 years?
At least, yeah.
At least, yeah. And this is only the second time that I've been inside the factory, so I really appreciate it. And when you're driving by the Imbleau Sons factory in Renfrew, now you have a bit of an idea of what exactly went on behind the doors. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. There's still lots more on CTV Morning Live.